What is up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. We are back from a long week vacation that I took, from my videos. I do apologize to everybody, but I just moved into a new spot. Got the studio back up and running, had to tear it down. I am going to be doing a video tour of my new studio and how it's set up and everything. It's great because I have a little room, as you see. Got a new background, I got the window blocked off with some material to keep sound from coming in and out the room and stuff like that. And I'm working on putting up some new panels. So I will definitely give you a studio tour and show you my new setup. And I got, like I said, new interface, working on microphone, got a few little pieces of gear, so I do want to show y'all that in like later videos coming in the week when I get some more stuff coming in. But anyway, we are back with the Making the Beat Part 3. I know it's been a long time. It's been about a week since I released Part 2. So I'll definitely make sure I put at the top of the corner right here somewhere, you'll be able to watch, part 1 and part 2. Today, we're going to be going over the mix and the master, hopefully getting to the master, how they do, but I will show you the mix, But anyway, we're going to play the beat real quick so y'all can see what it is, because I ain't heard this in a while. Honestly, I haven't listened to this in a while. So, it's going to be new, fresh to me. So, probably gonna get some ideas to mix and get some good stuff. So you already know. And it's a Travis Scott beat, by the way, if you didn't know, it's by the title. And then, like I said, once we're done with this video, I'll definitely jump on making the next one and keep these coming. I know y'all enjoyed it. So let's listen to the beat and let's get mixing. Sounds pretty good. Let's just raise that buffer size real quick. There we go. We don't have no raise the buffer size. So let's see, where should I start? First, go make sure all my stuff is routed correctly. Everything should be routed right, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So we're gonna do what I usually do. Let's see. Go to channel 13. We're going to shift click. Oh no, come on. There you go. We're going to control click and highlight everything, bring everything down, because that's what I like to do. And then we're going to start mixing stuff one by one. So we're going to start with the main part. So we're going to click off, and then we're going to just bring everything up little by little. And remember, when you're doing stuff like this, you want to make sure that your earphones or speakers are at a really loud level, because like I said, you're going to be bringing everything up. You want to mix low. That's the whole purpose of this. Getting some anomalies right now, so we'll fix that. Change the buffer length. See what high as it can go. Here we go. And then make sure we got Sapphire. There we go. And I'm just gonna give myself a limiter just so I can monitor my sounds. That's how I'm gonna use it for. I'm gonna monitor my levels. I'm gonna put it off screen so you're not gonna be able to see it, but I'm just gonna use the monitor. Remember, when I'm getting this, I wanna keep it within the -12 to -6 dB when I'm mixing. I want to keep it in between that, give you some headroom. And also, if you have the K scale, you can do a few. Remember, the K scale is, we go right here, the K14 scale. You want to get it right there, which is about 6 dB. So I'm just gonna take this off screen so you won't see it no more. So say bye bye. Yup, and that way I can keep it monitoring. All right. Okay, and we go to, now we got it mixed. I got a little low cut, high cut, give it that darkness. Then I got my reverb. If you watch video 2, video 1, you'll see me do all that. So go to next sound. Very creepy. So let me go ahead and start labeling these, matter of fact, so I don't forget what they are. Keys, and then we're gonna change the color to I always use purple for keys for some strange reason. And then this, I'm just gonna call this effects. So we're gonna, it's just an FX. We're gonna make that like a lightish blue for effects. All right, and then go back to my pattern 1. We're gonna skip number 3 because number 3 is going to be the 808 bass. And you know we always make red because you know that's hot. So, and then we'll go to the next sound. All right. And if you're wondering why I'm looking over that way, it's because I have 2 monitors and my webcam is centered. So if it looks like I'm looking off, that I'm actually looking at my monitor over here because a couple people asked me about that. And I'll be showing you how to do a dual monitor setup because I have a bunch of people ask me how to get the dual monitors and a dual monitor workflow. So I'll definitely show you how to do dual monitor workflow within FL Studio very simply, very easily. All right, and then I'm gonna call that, like, I guess, effect bass lead, and then we're gonna make that. We'll make it green. It's fun figuring out colors to use. So 5 is gonna be our snares. I already know that, so I'm gonna make that yellow. But we'll come back to the snares. Like I said, we want to do whatever you want mix the loudest. You always come back to. So we're going to go to number 6, which is the hi-hats. So put hi-hats, and then we'll make that a real light green color. All right, then we're gonna we'll wait to get that. We'll go to number 9. So which number 9? We'll figure out what it is first. Now this is a weird sound. I'm gonna add some reverb to it. So I want some highs in it. I want to cut some of the bass, leave the mids, and then I want a big ambient sound. And that sounds a whole lot better than plain, and then it's very subtle. But you know, it makes a big difference in the mix. So that'd be pad, and then we'll make that. We'll make that like a pinkish color. No, it stands out. I think I have another pad right here on 10, so let's see. Let's bring everything back. Crazy sound. Add some reverb. It's just so good. Like just listen to the difference. It just makes it a bigger sound. And we're gonna pan these two because it gives some stereo feel. So. Pretty cool. Go to number 11, like a little, we'll call that pad 2. So we'll call that pad number 2, and then we'll make that same color as the last one. That way they're together. And that's just like an add-on to the bass lead, same thing, but it's just a lower version of you hear, both the same. So it's always good to layer your sounds because you get a bigger, wider sound when you layer stuff. We got the Vox right here. We're just gonna leave the Vox the same color. I ain't leaving it grayed out. So. Now what I'm gonna do to this Vox is I'm gonna make it super reverby. So. And now I'm gonna go into the actual panel right here and add some delay to it. Just give it a little bit echo. So we're gonna do about 30%, and then mess with the timing of it a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do next. So that's that. Hold on 1 second. It's gonna be a while. Why? I wasn't no third. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that. That should be good. Add the fat mode to it. Gives kind of a weird delay sound. As you can, I ain't got no keyboard. So it gives like that really late delayed sound. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna leave that, and then we're gonna go back to the mix. Oh, gotta unmute everything. And 13 is, I think it's like a pluck, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pluck, and we're just gonna make that these bright colors. Them hi-hats right there, that movement gives it that bounce. I'm gonna add some reverb to it, make it more spacious, just a little bit, not a lot. If you saw what I did, I brought down the mix on the effect down to about 60%. Kind of blends in some of the dry with the wet, so it gets that nice balance. Cause I didn't want to sound too reverby, but I didn't want to sound too dry either. So that's a good thing to experiment with, the mix and wet dry knobs, because they can be a very powerful tool to be using when you are doing this type of stuff. So just remember, keep that in mind when you're doing it. I was adding the cymbals. Excuse me. Might want to color them. Get them a color so they can stand out. the part that everybody's always waiting for. Kick drums. Kick drums. Drums. The part that everybody like to see mixing. I'm gonna try something a little different with my drums today. As you know, I did layer 2 type of drums. So if we go to it, it's these 2 type of drums right here. Oh, well, you can't hear because I got it muted. But 2 different type of drums layered and bust into 1 track. So we're gonna try some different kind of compression techniques today. I'm probably gonna do like some really heavy compression. You make them really punchy, and then EQ them and stuff. So let's bring them in first. You know what I forgot? I forgot to do the snares. I mean, why don't you guys tell me I forgot the snares? I mean, come on, y'all slacking. Okay, that's not reverby enough for me. See, just reverb makes it sound less dry. Just listen to it. So now we're going to mix these drums. Do not want a parametric EQ. Want an EQ too. Well, want a parametric, but want this one. Let's see. We're gonna. And I'm gonna use a LA2A. Not LA2A, but 1176 compressor style compressor. Because these kind of compressors are pretty good. This is one by Native Instruments. You could use one by Waves, and I got one by Slate Digital as well. Which, you know what? Might not be a bad idea to use that one. Let's go to the here. What you doing? Virtual mix rack. Didn't have my iLock plugged in. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to restart my computer because the iLock was not registering. That's just one thing that you get when you buy your plugins. Sometimes it's, I say, iLocks and Avid and the way they register plugins is just horrible. But anyway, now we're going to get to the just drum mix that I was going to talk about. I'm going to use an 1176 emulation, which is a very popular compressor. I would love to have a real one. I'm actually looking at getting a real one, but as of right now, I would just use like vintage, emulations of it. So here it is. Gonna throw into the virtual mix rack by Slate Digital. Pretty good plugin. I really like this plugin because for mixing vocals, drums, anything overall mixes, this is really good. And you also just emulate, like you can put like a Neve style preamp in front of it, give it like a Neve sound or whatever. You can do all kind of stuff. So, but we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna take it off. There you go. And then move it right back. I might add some emulation. But anyway, let's compress these kick drums. Now the way that the 1176X is very different. It has a fixed threshold, it has a fixed threshold. So you actually add compression by putting in the input. So the more input you get, the more compression you get. So you change the input till you get your gain reduction, and then you tailor it to the output, and then you select your ratio. And these switches are actually reversed. The attack and release, they're actually reversed. So 1 is slow, which most compressors 1 equals fast. So it'd be 1 is the slowest setting and 7 is the fastest setting. So remember that when you're using the 1176 or any type of 1176 emulation or real 1176, 1176, you remember that the lower number is the slowest setting and the higher number is the fastest setting. So just remember that they're backwards. Like that's the way it was designed, and that's how it works. But it's great for drums, vocals, just about anything. So if you can get one by Waves, they have instruments, the Slate digital ones, or there's other ones, or if you get a real one, I suggest using it because they sound really good. So let's start compressing these kick drums. So you can just squash it. You can see it just sounds a little bit more punchier now, a little bit more under control. And we're going to use we can use Bomber, nope, lift gain. Let's put a preamp in front of it. Give it like some kind of just some solid state warmth. Like you can just hear it has just a little bit more crispiness to it. It's not doing much, but it's just adding a little bit of something there to the sound. Like, you don't have to do this, but overall, and there's no right or wrong way to do anything. I'm just showing you how I do it. The sound I want more of a snappier, punchier sound. So that's what I did. You don't have to do this, but any compressor will work. It doesn't matter, but I like the vintage stack compressor because you really have to listen to what's it doing. You don't get no graphical like interface and see how stuff is doing. You have to listen to see the changes in the sound. So let's bring it back in the mix. Now let's bring that 808 up in there. Now I'm gonna bring back the Pro L so you can actually see, you know, how much gain reduction I'm getting on both the K scale and the regular scale. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. As you see, I got around 6 dB of gain reduction. Of headroom. So now I'm gonna show you a little something that comes with this interface. This is the Sapphire mix control. With my interface, it comes with this cool. Yeah, it got this little thing called. It's got a little thing called the VRM. As you can hear right now, I know my voice changed because I'm be doing this. But what this allows me to do is to reference my monitors in different situations, in different environments. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. So I'm just gonna listen to my mix in different environments. Now it's gonna sound weird to y'all. It's probably gonna sound like really, like it's gonna sound like a different environment, and that's the whole point. Is you can pick what type of speakers you wanna use, whatever, and then you actually get to pick the environment that you want to do. So yeah, so let's do it. And we're gonna pick. I like to use these. The computer desk speaker. That's what most people can listen to. So let's listen to my mix on the computer desk to see how it sounds. As you can see, it sounds really weird right now. So here we go. I can hear everything pretty good right there. Let's try some hi-fi speakers. Switch to the professional studio. That's just on some Japanese white class, would basically be Yamaha NS10s, which are pretty well-renowned speakers. And you also change the position of where you're sitting as well. So now I'm gonna switch back over. So give me 1 second. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Sorry about the little chop. Just gonna ignore the background change and everything. It had some editing issues, so I had to come back and redo this part because something wrong with the recording. But anyway, I'm about to insert the actual me sequencing it real fast. You can see like a time loop, time warp speed, sequencing it right about now. Okay, now we're back. After you just seen that little sequence, now I'm gonna talk to you about my structure and how I did it. Now there is no right or wrong way to structure a beat. That's the one thing that people just don't understand. People always asking me, how do I structure a beat? What should I do to structure a beat? It depends on how you want your beat to sound. Like, you ultimately choose how you want your beat to sound. Nobody can tell you how your beat sound. You want it to be structured a certain way, and do it. The advice that I have is don't make your intro too long. That's something I see a lot of starting out producers mess up on. Don't try to make your intro no more than 30 seconds, because after that, it's just really just people just don't care no more after that. So make your intro, relatively short, but not too short, or you can have it come straight in. That's up to you. But anyway, I'm about to play you my structure so you can see how I did it, and then we're going to talk about how the master, because the master part got messed up, so I'm going to redo the master part. There you go. Ignore all of the pops and glitches. That's because I'm using the FL Studio ASIO opposed to my actual interface ASIO, because that's why I was doing that. It's not because my computer's slow or nothing like that, because no. So just to let you know, so when you're using certain audio devices, it can do that. So just remember that. Always use your interface audio device, but the only way you'll be able to hear the actual beat being made is if I use this crappy FL Studio driver. So sorry. But anyway, that's besides the point. Now let's talk about, matter of fact, let's see real quick. I'm just gonna do a little test, see if y'all can hear the audio. Nope, you can't. Nope, you wouldn't be able to hear it, sorry. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about what's going down right here. So basically what my main sequence is, like I said, I kept a little relatively short intro. What I did at the beginning was I just added some gross beats, honestly. It's just slow triplets on the top part, and then I have the pitch down, which you get the pitch shifter, which you just click here, pitch shifter, and that and here's where the slow triplet is. And that kind of gave it a cool effect. Now the pitch shifter is actually cutting off really quick, because I didn't want it to be pitch shifting all the way through or very long for a long period of time. And then, like I said, the slow triplets just kind of start here and then ends right there, and then that's it for that. So, I just kind of have them going opposite of each other. Let's see how this one goes kind of long, this kind of cuts off short, and this gives kind of a swirly effect, kind of just makes it really trippy at the beginning. So you're like, because like I said, Travis Scott's sound is very ambient, very dark, very weird sounding. So I wanted to keep that kind of weird sound with this beat. Like I said, sequencing, otherwise, if you saw the little thing when I was fast forwarding through my sequence, you saw my hands flailing around and me moving my mouth around it, because I was actually putting myself in the mindset of that artist, trying to rap like him. Let me fix this real quick. Trying to, act like I was him rapping into a song. How would he do stuff? So you gotta put yourself in the mind state of the artist that you're in order to get the sound and get the sequence that you want, because that's ultimately the only way you're gonna be able to do it. So that's beside the point. Let's get to the master now. I just did a few little mastering things. All I did was add some bus compression, 2 EQs, and a limiter, of course. So I'm gonna play you everything without anything. So let's turn this off. This is without any processing. AC sounds very good. The mix is great, and you gotta remember that a good like it don't matter how much you master something. If your mix sucks, your master is gonna suck right alongside it. So remember that you gotta have a good mix in order to get a good master. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Don't think you can fix it all in mastering, because that is not true at all. If your mix suck, then your master will suck. So always get a good mix first and then worry about the master later. So my first little master trick, I use this bus compressor. Now you can use any bus compressor. It don't matter if you got, this one's by Slate Digital. You can use the one by Waves. They got one by Native Instruments, or you can even use a compressor, just a regular compressor, stock compressor, a compressor that you got as a bus compressor. The settings that you need to really focus on is the attack and release, and the ratio. That's what's really going to determine your bus compression sound. Now, most bus compressors have, like fast and slow, attacks and release, and they have ratios varying between 1 and 10, blah, blah. But the main thing you'll keep is, I always do, like for most bus compressors, like the way the pros mostly do it, is they use a slow attack, a very fast release, and then they only try to get about 1 or 2 dB of gain reduction, because you don't want to hyper compress your overall mix. You just want to kind of glue it together. You kind of just bring everything tighter together, make them sound like one track. And you want to keep your ratio between 1 to 5 to 2. No more than that, because I said you're only trying to get about 1 or 2 dB of gain reduction. Now, if you're doing like rock and roll or something like heavy metal, something like that, you might want to get 3 or 4 dB of gain reduction, because that's, like I said, that's more of a heavier, crunchier sound. So I'm gonna play you what it sounds like with and without the bus compressor. You're gonna see I'm only getting about 1, maybe 1.5 dB of gain reduction. Just watch. This is before without it. As you see, it's a very, very subtle, very slight change. There's nothing really massive about it. Like I said, I'm only getting about 1 dB of gain reduction. I'm making up about 1 dB. Then I have this high pass filter on. Like some come with high pass filters, some don't. If it do, use it. If it don't worry about it. But anything below 60 hertz, I'm not affected by the compressor. I still want my low end, my kick drum and my bass to still have that full power behind it. And, so that's why I did that. And then I use the second bus compressor to just add a little drive to it, just to give it like a little bit of something you hear. See, it just kind of lifts the bottom end up a little bit. Like I said, bus compression, you want to be very, very careful with it. Next, I use the passive EQ. And the only thing I'm doing with the passive EQ is I'm using it to roll off the highs and the lows. Well, the lows and the highs, my bad. Using this high pass filter to cut about 20 hertz, because really that much low end you're not gonna be able to pick up, just not. And then the really, really high stuff, like from the 8K, but like, I can use a high pass off, but I can usually take the low pass off, but I like it on there because it just kind of cleans up the mix, as you'll hear, because I'm about to turn it on and off so you can actually hear what it's doing. As you hear that high pass and low pass filter, it really makes it more clearer, more you can hear everything a little bit better. And it's like I said, it's very subtle. We're not trying to do crazy stuff. When you're mastering, you want to do very subtle changes. You gotta remember that. Next is a Pro Q, and when I'm doing Pro Q is something I don't do often, but I might start doing more. But I'm just doing some mid-side EQ. And basically what that is, you have your mids, which is everything in the middle, like the middle of the spectrum, and your sides is everything in the stereo field. And basically what I'm doing right here is I'm just taking the side field, which that's what the S stands for, sides. If you want to do mid-side EQ, some of them come with it, some don't. But if you have one that has it mid-side, you just click it right there at the bottom. It says channel mode, mid-side. You can do left and right or mid-side, because it's a stereo version of the Pro Q2. And I'm taking the sides right here, and I'm just cutting all this information. This is all in the, like, this is the side information, just everything on the side speaker. I'm cutting all the lows, so it has no lows. I want my lows to be mono. And the reason because really, you know, your kick drums and basses of it should be mono, and vocals and stuff should be mono. So except the effects I like to have, you know, stereo. So that's gonna that just cleans it up really. If you listen right here. That was all what's on the side information. That's all on the side. That's nothing in the middle. That's all on the side. If I turn it on and off, you'll be able to hear how it just adds a little bit to it. It's very subtle, but it's gonna go a long way. Very, very subtle. It's just giving the 808 kick drums and everything a little bit more presence in the mix, pretty much. And last but not least, we're just using a Pro L, as usual, just as a limiter. That'll say any limiter works. You can use the Slate Digital one, use the Waves one, you can use the one at FL Studio, you can use Fab Filters. Any limiter works. Just remember, you want to set your threshold to where you're getting about -6 dB of gain reduction, and you want to have you want to keep your ceiling at about 1.3 to 1.5 negative 1.3 or negative 1.5. And that's really it. You just want to try to get about 6 dB gain reduction, because any more than that, then you're really going to be squashing your dynamics. You're not going to have no dynamic. And if you have like a transparent mode or something like that, I usually use transparent mode. You don't have to. You can use punchy, dynamic, whatever. I like transparent because I don't like my stuff to really sound like it's being too compressed. So before and after. And that's how you get that volume that everybody's been trying to get with a simple limiter. Limiter is the way to get the volume. But like I said, if your mix is not good, your master is not gonna be good at all either. And I like starting it down. That's why I'm looking like I'm fading away. But anyway, that's pretty much it when it comes down to mastering. Very simple techniques, very subtle. Every little thing counts, but at the beginning, you gotta remember you got to have a good mix in order to get a good master, point blank, period. So with that being said, I hope you learned something. You know, I had fun with this beat. Sorry it took so long to do. Like I said, moving to a new house, got a new studio, new equipment, and rearranging stuff and really getting settled in. Now I'm back settled in. About to bring out some more videos. So I'm gonna be working on some more, making the beat videos, because, you know, I got a bunch of requests that need to be done, and I want to do some more because I enjoy doing these, because, you know, it's just fun for me and everybody to learn. So with that being said, y'all know who it is. It's your boy Simp, aka Mr. Different, Mr. Not Motivated by the money, but the like, comment, subscribe, and views. So I hope y'all enjoy this, and I shall see y'all in next. So please like, comment, subscribe, and thumb it up, and share this with everybody, and let me know what y'all think, and leave comments below. Tell me what y'all want to see more of, and what y'all want me to go more in depth in the next video. So with that being said, I shall see y'all next time. Have a good one.